Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Salma Tirna. I'm from class 1E Indralaya and I'm going to read an article. Last week, warning about the imminent arrival of Hurricane Helen. The National Weather Service in Tallahassee used the word unsurvivable. And yet the storm seemed to take much of the country by surprise. You might have thought not that long ago that the arrival of extreme weather could wake us up, belatedly from climate complacency. But the dull trumpet of disaster seems almost to be putting us to sleep instead. Even the imminent arrival of a catalysm like Helen, a Category 4 storm that spanned more than 400 miles across the Gulf Coast and threatened communities as far north as Appalachia, was not enough to generate all the much attention ahead of time, when more might have been done to limit the devastation. The storm has so far produced at least 100 deaths and perhaps 160 billion dollars in damage. In Florida, Big Bend region, Helen was the third hurricane to make landfall in barely a year, flattening beach towns and burying islands and sending water into the attics of homes as far away as Tampa Bay. In several states to the north, locals from dozens of communities, hundreds of miles from one another, were calling the storm, or Katarina. Some of them watching wool home or shiny cats carried downstream, others clinging to tree branches for hours on and waiting for the flood waters to reset or help to arrive. In census, there was no emergency declared before hospital patients were evacuated from a rooftop by helicopter. And as of Saturday, across western North Carolina, hundreds of vulnerable 40 trillion gallons of rain fell in total, the equivalent of 1/3 of the total volume of Lake Erie, enough to cover the entire state of Massachusetts in 23 feet of water. The intense rainfall was made over the last week, perhaps 50% more intense over parts of Georgia and the Carolines by global warming. It was perhaps only 20 percent more intense. Entire towns appear to have been turned into flotsam or pulverizing into splinters, and few of those living in the hardest hit areas even carried flood insurance. Across Hayfield's Bone Country, 70 times as many homes had been judged at risk in 100 years, flood even as carried insurance against the risk. Helen was called a 1,000-year flood for certain parts of the south. Those streams grow less meaningful almost by the day. Another ostensible 1,000-year storm had hit the coastal Carolines just 1 week before. Sometimes worst-case scenarios really do come to pass. The Climate Scientist Daniel Swain wrote over the weekend on Sunday, and I think we often like the collective imagination to fully envision what that looks like. Americans watching disaster footage from a distant collapsed bridges and disabled roads as he fell submerged by sludgy brown floodwater, wondered how hurricanes might produce such. Next, I want to read 10 vowel and one sentence of the vowel. First is as, as, imposing, 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 observe, 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 anticipate, 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 emergency, 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 infrastructure, infrastructure, input, 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 equivalent, 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 enough, 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 occurred, occurred, occurred. And the sentence for vowel, the data is ready to be input into the computer. So next, 10 from consonant and 1 sentence from consonant. First, disaster, disaster, disaster. Footage, footage, footage. Briefcase, 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 briefcase. Scaring, scaring, scaring. Seems, seems, seems. Safety, safety, safety. Social, social, social. Media, 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 media. First, first, first. Word, word, word. And 1 sentence from the consonant. I get information from social media. Okay, maybe that's all. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.